morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a look at 151. Because you see, the Blooming Waters collection is coming out in the not too distant future. It's dropping in February. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, you know what? That is actually a really exciting product. It's coming with 12 packs of the set. It's something that a lot of people are going to get excited about. Because 151, as I've shown you lately, is largely sold out. Like, 151 is becoming a real pain to pick up. So that then got me thinking, well, hang on a second. What's actually happening to the price of all of these cards? Are we really seeing that this set as a whole is jumping up massively? Or is it all just a little bit overblown? How hyped should we be for a new set with 151 in? Or are we all exaggerating just a little bit? Well, maybe we should have a look about that then, shouldn't we? And one of the striking things about 151, like if you look at the cards that just missed the top 10 list, your Illustration Rare War Turtle and Ivysaur, your middle evolutions of your starters, and Pikachu, they're all coming in at about 25 bucks. Like a few, $1 or $2 either side. But let's just call it 25 bucks to make things easier. They're the number 11, 12, and 13 cards in the set. And they're illustration rares. Sure, in most sets we get one or two illustration rares, which, pop up a little bit from where we would expect. But having 3 of them at 25 bucks that don't make the top 10, that's a little bit weird. I'm just telling you right now off the bat, that's a little bit weird. But if we go to the actual number 10 card in the set, we've got ourselves Charmeleon, which is coming in right now at about 30 bucks. And if we have a look at what's happened over the past year, it just keeps going up. It was 20 bucks back in the beginning of June, went up a bit, went down a bit, went up a bit, and now we're sitting at about a $30 card. This is the illustration rares. Like, there are many illustration rares in this set, which are coming in at the $25, $30 mark. And illustration rares are like 1 in every 12 packs. And that alone should tell you what you need to know about 151. It is kind of getting a little bit silly in that there are so many illustration rares, just regular illustration rares, which are jumping up quite massively. Number 9 card in the set is Bulbasaur. We get up to our basic first partner Pokemon here, and Bulbasaur's up to like 38 bucks right now. But look at this graph. It's kind of about $25 up until the beginning of October. Since October, it's jumped from 25 up to 38. We're not talking about a slow, steady rise of cards from a set which has been out for a little while. We are talking about aggressive jumps in price, big swings, the likes of which we're just not really used to seeing. At least not on this level, not for this many cards, not all at the same time. 151 as a whole is spiking. If we have a look at the number 8 card in the set, it is obviously the Squirtle. Charmander's actually going to be a couple steps up again. And what do we see? Well, once again, we see that in October, it kind of went down for the last time to a semi-reasonable price. And it was really October where this set started jumping up. Sure, it's come down from 46 to 43, the Squirtle specifically, but that's a very small, and I'm imagining temporary drop here. And we might see that as we go along here and the Blooming Waters collection comes out, the stock goes up a little bit, more packs get out there, maybe we will see a temporary drop in price. But really, we're being told what we need to know here. This is a very exciting set, and it is the kind of set which isn't going away anytime soon. We're not talking about a set which, well, it's hyped right now, but it's going to die down, or it's about to be supplanted by some other set coming out, or any of that. Nah, mate. This is a set where the hype is real, and it just keeps going up. If we have a look at the number 7 card in the set, we are talking about the full art Charizard here. And it bottomed out at $30 back at the beginning of June. It's now up to $43. And look, $43 isn't amazing. It's not some kind of stunning card. But right now, that's a few dollars higher than the full art Pikachu. And Pikachu is from Surging Sparks, which just came out. is an incredibly hyped set, has still got that new set bump. Obviously, the set as a whole is being propped up by the special illustration rare Pikachu, which is like a $450 card, which makes the set as a whole more interesting, which pushes the price of all of them up. And if we look in the Scarlet and Violet era, like, as a whole, like, let's take Stellar Crown, the set before that. And let's take a look at the most expensive full art Pokemon from Stellar Crown. You can already guess where we're going with this. It is nowhere close. The most expensive full art Pokemon from Stellar Crown is $5 Lapras. That's the most expensive full art we got in Stellar Crown. Most full art Pokemon are exceedingly cheap. Pikachu from Surging Sparks is an exception. Charizard is a big exception here. So when I'm like, oh, it's $40 for the full art Charizard, or just over that, we need to look at the context of these full art Pokemon almost never attract any value. Moving on to the number 6 card in the set, we find ourselves taking a look at Alakazam EX. This is where we start off with the special illustration rares. And again, $43 for Alakazam is actually quite good. But look at the graph. Once again, you can see that, well, it's October. It starts jumping up fast when we get to October. There was a real turning point in October, which I think was really where 151 just started to become super annoying to find. I actually pulled this Alakazam from a Japanese pack. Pulled a couple of boxes. Pulled the Master Ball Charmeleon, as well as this. It was a very good box, I'm going to be honest with you. But the point is, this is the cheapest of the special illustration rare Pokemon, sitting up there at about $43. But look at the jump. If we have a look at Charmander, this is the number 5 card in the set. This is obviously the biggest of the illustration rares. It's $53 for an illustration rare. That's a lot of money for an illustration rare. And again, it's not just about the raw value we're looking at here. We're talking about the jump in price, and look at the jump in price here. We are not talking about a little drop here or there, a little jump here or there. We are talking about, it was, $23 back in May, and we're now talking basically 2.5 times that. Close enough. That's a lot. Number 4 card in the set, as we get into the big special illustration rares, we've got ourselves Zapdos. Once again, we look at the graph. Nobody should be surprised here. It's a $54 card, but what is more important is it is rising. There was a point where a lot of these cards could be picked up for like $30. There was a point where a lot of these, even the bigger cards from the set, were actually available pretty cheap. And that is getting worse and worse as time goes by. And like I say, maybe we do have a little bit of a drop as we get into Blooming Waters coming out and all of that. But my point in this video is, this is a huge set that everybody loves. Do not expect a sustained or long-term drop. Moving into your first partner Pokemon, we have Venusaur at $75 in at number 3. And again, look at that jump. Once again, it's October. It was beginning of October. Everybody as a whole suddenly decided, right, let's push 151. Singles prices of 151 when we got to October went a little bit silly. And it's across the board. And look, I'm just showing you the top 10 here because I can't show you every card. That would take forever. I haven't shown you a card going down yet. I mean, the couple of them have gone down a little bit kind of towards the end. They'll go back up again, like $1 or $2. My point is, you look at the graph as a whole, all of these cards are jumping up. It has been a consistent rise for all of them, but look at the jump in October. In at number 2, Blastoise, just over $75. Very close to the Venusaur, but generally outpipping it. Oh, look! Consistently going up for the space of the last year. But what happened in early October? Giant spike. There was a big spike. I've been waiting for the last few weeks just to see what would happen with this before I brought you this video. I wanted to see exactly what was happening before we had a chat about it. And essentially what's happening is that spike happened and it's just keeping rolling. What about Charizard? Yeah. Once again, I mean, the spike happened at the beginning of October. I keep telling you that. It's a $200 card right now. And sure, We did have a little bit of a drop at the end of November, down to 150-ish. But now it's back up to a $200 card. And I pulled this one. I tweeted out about this. I pulled it from a mini tin, which was, I only bought the mini tin to get the Sprigatito promo. Best pull from a mini tin I've ever had. Point is, this is a phenomenal card. It is a ridiculous card. It is one of the biggest cards in the Scarlet and Violet era as a whole. And it's not getting cheaper. Like, I have no rush to sell my one of these because, well, if you want to sell a card on release when everybody's overhyping it and paying way too much, good time to sell cards. Or wait and hope it to set like 151 that just keeps going up over time. I don't expect Charizard to settle below $200. I expect Charizard to just keep going and keep going and keep going for a while at this stage. And I love this. Mostly because I've already pulled the card. If you're after 151, like I say, I can imagine a little drop when Blooming Waters comes out, depending on the stock level of that particular product. But overall, the pattern for 151 seems incredibly clear. This is a big deal. This is a huge set. And it's not going down anytime soon. Not significantly. I could be wrong. I can't promise. But I've shown you my working. I've explained everything as well as I can. And now it's over to you guys. How much 151 have you been able to pick up? Did you get everything you wanted? Are there still singles you're searching for? Have you managed to sell some singles for a nice tidy profit? Let me know whatever you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @LeWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely Zarek Peris, who is one of our newer patrons and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.